Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Wednesday. All right, while we're waiting for folks to come in, we are on the last unit in this last lesson in this unit. So please give a look at botany. If you haven't finished the other one on the previous activity, please make sure you get that turned in as well. So we're looking at what kind of biological remains look like. All right, half the class is here, so we're going to wait a while. But again, look at this lesson while we're waiting, please. Good morning, good morning. Okay. Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, we're still waiting on several people. There's almost half the class is here. But again, while we're waiting, make sure that you've turned in the last activity, and we are looking at the last unit on botanical remains, botanical remains. So we are in Canvas looking at botanical remains. So again, this is the last unit. After that, we have the wrap up, which means by next week, I'll have a review activity. By next week, we'll be looking at testing this. So Monday, we'll be back on schedule. No, Tuesday for you, Tuesday. So expect a test on this unit of, let's see, what is the unit called? Okay, analysis of hair, fiber, and botanical materials. So we will conclude this unit and test this unit by Tuesday. So kind of put that on your planning schedule. So take some time to go back and look at all of the things that are in there, look at the wrap up. Make sure that this is the last thing that we did was the Fiber Lab. Some of you still have that to turn in, but that's due date is today. So make sure that gets turned in. If you haven't done it, it's due today, today, today. Let's see what, click on that. All right, I stuck this picture in because it was a good picture. So one of the questions asked you about Locard's principle of how things are transferred from one place to another. So make sure that you take a look at that. If you haven't done it, that picture should be helpful. All right, so again, we're waiting for some more folks to come in. I do have a brief video to show. So read this over, especially especially these points down here. And then I'm going to have a challenge for you. All right, I'm going to give like another 5 minutes to see who else comes in, and then we'll go ahead and get started. right, good morning, good morning, good morning. If you just came in, we are on the last lesson on botanical remains, looking at forensic botany today. All right, so make sure that you've read that. Now that we have most everybody, we're still missing a lot of people. But I'm going to go ahead and get started. Time is, watch as soon as I say that, somebody will come, but we're going to get started. We're going to, okay, make sure the sound is up.
To Destination for insightful and engaging educational content. Here, we explore a wide range of topics from science and history to technology and beyond. Prepare to expand your knowledge and spark your curiosity with our carefully crafted videos. Subscribe now, join us on a journey of discovery. In today's session, we're going to look at forensic botany, which is otherwise known as plant forensics. I'm going to begin with a definition of forensic botany, which is the study and application of plant science to assist in criminal investigation. The use of plants in criminal investigations, which is aimed to link plant evidence to a crime. Forensic botany involves the analysis of plant materials and their ecological context to provide evidence that can help in legal cases. It's an important tool in modern-day forensic science. A brief introduction. Forensic botany seeks to answer several questions, which include who, when, and where. Other questions that are okay, the three are the main: who, when, and where. Other questions include what was eaten before death, was the body moved, what is the postmortem interval, etc. Forensic botany has several subdisciplines, which include palynology, which is the study of pores and pollen. We have dendrochronology, which is a method of determining the age of a tree by examining rings. We have lichenology, which is the study of lichens. We have mycology, which is the analysis and identification of fungi. We also have bryology, which is the study of bryophytes. Let's briefly look at botanical crime scene analysis. At a crime scene where botany is an evidence, a forensic photographer should make sure they capture all the details, that the plants are, to try and get a lot of information from the plants that are present in the crime scene. So what the photographer should capture include dominant plants and other plants. They have to show the difference where the dominant plants are and other plants. We also have depressed grasses, and this could be indicating possible entrances or exits into that crime. We also have broken branches or disturbed plants, and also plants in unusual locations relative to the body, vehicle, to the objects, that is relative to other evidences in that crime scene. Let's look at applications of forensic botany. Forensic botany has many applications, and these are some of them. One, we have identification of plant remains. We find that plant materials can be recovered from a crime scene, and their identification can help to link the scene to maybe to a suspect, to a victim, or even to another scene. And this identification is done via plant DNA analysis. And DNA analysis of plant materials can be used to identify specific plant species, which is useful in the linking maybe to another crime scene, maybe to a suspect, to a victim, etc. Yeah, the second application is linking suspects to victims or even crime scenes. For example, plant evidence that can be used to link maybe a suspect to a crime scene. We have pollen grains. Maybe pollen grains from a specific. Okay, you find that different plants are found in different geographical locations. You don't expect plants that are found in the desert to be found in areas that are not deserts. So if maybe a pollen grain of a plant that is known to be or to grow in a specific location is found in maybe on a trouser of one who is suspected to have been into that crime scene. That is one way of linking them. Another one is determining if a body has been moved, and this could be shown by maybe they are dragging marks or even footsteps on plants like grass. Identification of weapons. In these plants, DNA analysis helps. Also, source of contraband. Maybe you find that some illegal products were found in a specific location, but now they have on them maybe traces of pollen grains, maybe leaves, etc., from a different location, and this is going to show where they originated from. Also have when a crime was committed. This could show the time of the season. Under season, plants. Let's use the example of pollen grains again. Find that different plants flower in different seasons of the year. So if maybe a suspect was found with to be having traces of pollen grains of a certain plant which is known to flower in a certain season of the year, that shows the timeline in which the crime was committed. Also under time, we can use a dendrochronology, where we find that by analyzing the growth rings of trees, investigators can determine the age of wooden evidence found at crime scenes. And it's important in establishing the timelines. Another application of forensic botany is helping in solving drowning cases. We have diatoms, which are found in water, and when one drowns, that means that they were alive before they fell into the water. They're going to breathe in, and a lot of these diatoms are going to be found in their system, that is in the lungs, in the circulatory system, in the bone marrow, etc. And this is going to help the investigators to determine if it was the death was before falling into the water or whether it was after falling into the water. The one is to determine how long a body has been in a certain spot, and this is done by calculating the weight of the body and how much damage has been done to the plant underneath. Another application of forensic botany is helps in solving poisoning cases, and this is done by the analysis of plant toxins and their effects on the human body can be used as evidence in criminal cases. Those are the Those are some of the applications of forensic botany. We're going to look at the limitations of forensic botany. Find that forensic botany requires a skilled expertise where we have limited human resource. Also, certain environmental conditions may affect the persistence of botanical evidence. Those are the major limitations of forensic botany. And that is the end of our session. Thank you for joining us. We hope you've gained valuable insights and knowledge from today's video. Don't forget to subscribe for more enlightening content. And remember,
Okay. All right, so that gives you a little bit of background. So again, read this section. So they also give you some examples here. Your assignment today, and it's in the module, so if you just click the next page, it'll be there. Should also be on your desktop, is you're going to research, find a crime that was solved using plants. And when you find that article, you are looking for um, the who, what, where, and how. How was plant material used to solve the crime? What plants were involved? Um, so again, she mentioned poisoning. It could be a situation where they were poisoned with a plant substance. When did it happen? Where did it happen? What was the crime? And who was the victim? Or who were the victim and what do you call it? The perpetrator. Okay, so all of that needs to be in your report. Okay, so you are researching a crime that was botany related. Okay, and you're going to answer the who, what, when, where, how for that case. All right, so and again, go back and read this over. They have examples. They choose pollen as an example. So how was pollen? And she mentioned pollen, different plants. We think here in Georgia, because we have certain plants that um, are predominantly give off pollen in March, but plants bloom at different times of year, so they're always giving off pollen. And so different plants give off pollen at different times of year. Different trees have seed pods. You have some with the little sticky burrs on it that will cling to your clothes. So they'll know whether you walk through a field with those types of things. So find a case that they definitely were able to locate where the victim was, or the person, again, she mentioned that they might have died one place and place another. So you can tell the difference between they died here and were moved to a field. They died first and were thrown in the lake, but the plant materials that they found in the body said something else. There are water plants, so that she mentioned diatoms. Diatoms are plant water, we call it aquatic plants that will be found in the body if they drown afterwards. So keep all of those things in mind while you're searching for your story. Okay, any questions? Any questions? All right, so again, if you're looking for where the assignment is, do this on student view. It is in the module right after the lesson on botanical remains. All right, I'm going to stop sharing so I can do attendance. Again, ask questions if you're not sure. Oh, and this is one of those situations where the school now has an AI policy. So I know some of you are going to put it in there and it's going to give you a whole paragraph. Don't reproduce the whole AI. Don't copy and paste it on. read it. You can research that way. That's fine, but um, it's best to cite where you got your information from, and it shouldn't just be that you got it from AI. Okay, actually research. Look up a case on Google, and then paraphrase. Don't just copy and paste. Paraphrase it. This is answered in a who, what, where, why, how format where you're just sticking in that information. Okay. So I'm not saying don't use AI, but don't just copy and paste it. Okay. Yeah, you do. All right, and again, if you this is a short assignment. If you finish with that, please look at the wrap-up activity on the next page because this is the last lesson in this unit. Finish up any other assignment that might be late. Again, the other assignment on fiber analysis, the virtual lab, is due today. So after today, it's late. This one won't be late till Monday. And again, we're looking at testing this unit on, not Monday, for you all, it's Tuesday. We're testing this unit on Tuesday. Okay, we only have a few more minutes left to class. Again, you should have been working on the assignment of a case study for uh, that used botanical evidence to solve the crime. Um, you need to answer the who, what, where, why, how for that. And then if you finish with that, make sure you go to the unit wrap up because we are going to review points on, I see you again on Friday, and then we'll test the unit on Tuesday. And a reminder, there are a couple of you who still have the virtual lab outstanding. That's due today. Where was I doing this? Yeah. Okay, so if you're in a good place